Many years ago, people everywhere had turned away from God. Their hearts were filled with violence and evil. God looked down on the earth and saw that all people were wicked. He was very sad, but he knew that he had to do something. God decided to start over, and he would begin by cleansing the world with a great flood. But before he did this, he wanted to save one righteous man named Noah. God told Noah to build a huge boat called an ark, which would save him and his family along with many kinds of animals. God gave Noah very specific instructions about how big the ark should be and exactly how to build it. Then God told him to gather 2 of every kind of animal and bring them into the ark so that they, too, could be saved. God also said that Noah should bring 7 pairs of the animals that were clean so that he could make offerings to God after the floodwaters went away. After Noah finished building the ark just the way God had told him, he brought all the animals inside. Then God closed the door to the ark and the windows were shut tight. It started to rain. At first it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and then it seemed like it would never stop. The rain fell in torrents, day after day, week after week. As the days passed, the water rose higher and higher. Soon the water was deeper than any ocean trench. The water was so deep that it covered the tallest mountain in the world. Not a single dry tree or blade of grass could be found anywhere. Every river, lake, and stream had been swallowed up. Every fish in the sea, every bird in the sky, and every creature on the land was gone. Only the ark remained, floating on the raging waters. Inside the ark, Noah and his family and all the animals were safe. They were safe from the wind and the waves and the roaring thunder. They could look out through the windows of the ark and see nothing but water as far as they could see. After 40 days and 40 nights of rain, the water continued to rise for another 110 days. During that time, the water kept rising until it was about 6 cubits above the highest mountain. Then the rains finally stopped. And after that, everyone waited for the water to go back down. Day after day, Noah and his family went to the windows of the ark to look out at the world. For 150 days, they watched the water slowly recede. First, they could see the tops of some trees. Then more and more of the trees were uncovered. Finally, it was so dry that Noah could send some birds out to see if there was land anywhere. He first sent out a raven, but it flew around and came back to the ark because it couldn't find any dry land. So then Noah sent out a dove, but it flew around and didn't come back. So Noah waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again. When the dove returned, it had an olive leaf in its mouth. This meant that the dove had found dry land somewhere. So Noah knew that soon he and his family could leave the ark. When everything was ready, Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives came out of the ark. They bowed down and worshipped God. Then God spoke to Noah and said, "I am going to make a covenant with you and your descendants and with every living creature that was with you, namely the birds, the livestock, and every wild animal, all that go out with you, all living things. I will establish my covenant with you, and never again will a flood of this kind destroy the earth." Then God did something amazing. He put a rainbow in the sky. God said that whenever Noah and his family saw a rainbow in the sky, they would remember that God had made a covenant with them. He promised never again to destroy the earth with a flood. What can we learn from this story? We learn that no matter what happens, God always keeps his promises. Sometimes God will send messages to people through dreams or visions. Other times, he may cause an event to happen that gets our attention. The worldwide flood was one of the most dramatic events in history. It completely wiped out all life, except for those who were in the ark. God used this judgment to demonstrate his power over nature and to remind people that they should never forget that he is God. The worldwide flood was not only a physical disaster, but a spiritual disaster as well. It represents the consequences of sin and the judgment that sinners deserve. However, it also demonstrates God's mercy and his desire to forgive and restore people to a right relationship with him. By sparing Noah and his family and the animals, God gave humanity a second chance to live in harmony with him and with creation. The story of the flood has been an important part of many cultures for thousands of years. It reminds us that we should never take God's warnings lightly, and that we should always remember that He is in control of our lives and that He has the power to save us from danger. Hey friends, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can be the first to know when we release new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.